Coming up next, why people resent their work, and then the cost of Gen Z never working in an office. And then Fortune Magazine revealed the best companies to work for. We'll break it all down and coach you up as well. Here we go. All right, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. We're helping you win at work and in your life. We want you to make more money, but we also want you to experience more meaning in your work. Let's go. Let's dive into why people resent work so much. Boy, what an onion. I mean, I just laughed at my own pithiness here. We're going to try to uncover this in about 8 minutes. Okay, no. But let's dive into a new movement. It's called FIRE. Now, be careful what you look at on the internet as it relates to definitions, okay? You know what I mean? Like, really do your homework, 3 or 4 sources, credible sources. But we could go to Wikipedia for this one because this is a cultural thing. And so what is the FIRE movement? Some of you going, Ken, have you lost sight of what the show is about? I'm not sure where you're going with the FIRE movement. This is not young 11, 12-year-old Ken Coleman who wanted to set fire to many things. I thought it was very fun to burn piles of leaves, wood, the whole 9 yards. No. This stands for FIRE, being financial independence, retiring early. So I have financial independence so I can retire early. FIRE, financial independence, retiring early. So this is the goal for this these people in this movement. To save and invest aggressively 50 to 75% of your income and retire in your 30s and 40s. So you're starting to pick up on this. This is a younger movement, right? A lot of young people going, all right, if I can save and invest 50 to 75% of my income and I can retire with over $1 million or whatever in my 30s and 40s, woohoo! That's what I want to do. And I just want to retire, baby. What do you want to do? They don't know. They just don't want to work. Now, some of you are going, yeah, this is great, Ken. What's the point of this? I would submit to you that is a misguided dream. I would suggest to you that it is an incomplete dream. Is it dumb? No. Is it financially smart? Yeah. Hey, I mean, who's going to look at saving 50 to 75% of your income? Now, you're going to have any life. You're not going to have a life. So I want to point out, if you're okay not having a life and living on next to nothing, again, nothing dumb about that at all. That is a very clear decision, and there is tremendous discipline associated with that decision. Great. I got no problem with that. But here's what's really behind the FIRE movement. These young people look at a lifetime of work. Okay, let's just say they work till their mid-60s. I don't know what they're thinking, but let's say it's at least that. They look at that and they go, oh my gosh, I can't imagine life like that. I gotta just live on nothing, essentially sacrifice to the point of a Spartan existence. But it's going to be okay because by the time I reach 30 or 40, I don't have to work again. And I can just kind of chill and do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want. That's the theory. Where's that come from? These young people have seen their parents and grandparents vetch and gripe and moan about work. That's where it's coming from. It's coming from they're seeing a lot of unhappiness, a lack of joy associated with work. That's where this is coming from. And so when that happens, they start to go, there's got to be a better way. I don't want to act like mom or dad or grandma and grandpa. I don't want that life. I don't want the financial pressure that I feel like I see my parents or grandparents under. It's the environment that they're in. So credit to them. They're going, I don't want that. And I applaud. Young people, you're paying attention. This is great. You don't want that. But you've gone too far. I would suggest to you that the problem is an overreaction. They desire to retire early because work sucks. And because work sucks, my life will suck until I retire. Now, let's play that out. The problem with that thinking is that, let's say they make that happen, and let's say they're 35 years of age. Let's fast forward the story here because it's doable. Kids start working at 22 and investing and saving and a good earning job. At 35, they walk away. Now what? I don't know if any of you have ever had any friends retire early. I did. I have. I've had several friends retire in their late 30s, early 40s. And let me tell you something. They lasted about 2 to 3 years, and then they were back to work. Not because they blew their money. They didn't blow their money. They got plenty of it. They took a down season, right? They traveled. They did a lot of fun things. They tried some things. And before you know it, they were like, you know what? I got another idea. I got something I'm passionate about. I want to go do it. And they came back to a different form of work, but they did. If you're new to this show, you may have never heard me say, you were created to work. You are created to fill a unique role in your work. You are needed. You must do it. Isn't it interesting that we don't have to teach ourselves? Nobody ever sits us down and reads a little children's book or has a lesson for us in the 2nd or 3rd grade and says, you need to start wondering about what you want to do with your life. Nobody does that. Nobody teaches that. Where does that come from? It comes from our spirit, our soul. There's a longing that we all have to make a difference in this world. The way I sum it up is that we have relational purpose and professional purpose, right? So whatever your relationships are, I'm a husband, I'm a dad, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, I'm a coworker. Okay? So I have relational purpose in any relationship that I have. There's purpose there. In our professional lives, we tend to think there's no purpose, and yet we all long for it. But we've seen a world of work where it's just like, well, I go do this, I slog through the week, and I do it to pay for all these things and have a little bit of leftover for some fun. So this young generation is going, screw that. I'm going to work really, really hard and cash out early and then coast. But you won't. The solution isn't fire financial independence and retire early. The solution would be, I love the financial independence, but keep on working. Doing work you love. So that you work, as we talk about in the 7 stages in the book From Paycheck to Purpose, we work in those final stages when we get to the dream job. We are now working not for money, but we are working for meaning. In other words, we are leaving a legacy. We are contributing to the world something that we have a unique combination of our talent, our passion, our mission, what we do best, what we love to do, what results we want to create, and we give it away. And so we work not because we have to, we work because we want to. We are not working for money, although money comes with it. And oh, by the way, when you're working on purpose, talent, passion, mission, you're going to do better. So what's the solution? Figure out that unique role. How do you do that? Take the Get Clear Career Assessment. It's going to help you identify what you do best, what work you love, what results you want to create with your work. Helps you with a purpose statement, then looks into the world at work and say, hey, I can do it there. And then you go do it. KenColeman.com. Get Clear Assessment. Get it and move forward. You were created to fill a unique role in and through your work. Now, some of you may be going, I have no idea what that is. Some of you may be saying, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to get there. I felt all of those emotions. I've been where you are, and I can tell you, there's hope. That's why I wrote the book, From Paycheck to Purpose. You can make the income you want and the impact that you desire. And I know that you have what it takes. All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, helping you win at work. And sometimes that means leaving where you are to go to the next rung on the ladder that gets you ultimately climbing to where you want to be, or maybe stepping right into that dream job, or maybe it's starting the business you long to start. Whatever it is, We're here to help you win, get where you want to go. And one of the ways we do that is not just resources that we create, whether they be free or paid, or experts we bring into the show, keeping you up to date in the news, all of those things. But it's also partnering with organizations that can do some things I can't, and ZipRecruiter is one. They are the number one hiring site in the United States. They get it. Nobody wants to feel alone or frustrated in the job search. And no matter how hot the job market is, and it's really hot, you can feel alone. You can feel like you're frustrated all the time. It's a lot of extra work. Kind of takes the joy out of what's something we need to be doing. Hey, I need to be intentional. So let's add another tool to the tool belt that'll help you actually do this with very little effort. ZipRecruiter.com is the tool. They do much of the work for you. They send you jobs you can apply to with just one click. And they're pitching your profile constantly to employers who have jobs that match up with your profile, which only takes minutes to create. And the whole service is free because companies pay ZipRecruiter for talent. And I know you're talented, and I want you to get connected. It's a no-brainer, no risk. It's all free. ZipRecruiter.com. Go ZipRecruiter.com. All right. Wow. Couple of interesting things to get to here. Let's do it in the news. By the way, sometimes I have to remember to hydrate. You know, it's allergy season. And sometimes I have to take some allergy aids, and they make me a little dry. And I become very aware that Joe is always listening. And if my lips smack because I'm a little dry, I got to get a little sip here.
No, I'm not that strong.
Oh, it's always good for a sound effect. Remember when we were kids? Hot July day, come inside. Grape Kool-Aid was my beverage of choice. And you'd have a sip of grape Kool-Aid, and you always had to do the It's a good sound. All right, here we go. First story. Gen Z may never work in an office, but at what cost? Story from Yahoo. A growing number of young employees who graduated during the pandemic or got a new job as offices were closing have never worked in an office. It's extraordinary. But think about it. Think about if you were coming out of college over the last 2 years. There's a good percentage of kids who have worked remote and remote only. So, we all heard the stats. We understand. Managing your time your way is a key reason that a lot of people want to work remotely. Gallup research tells us beyond that, not having to commute, the flexibility to balance work and personal obligations and improve well-being are obviously popular reasons for remote work. However, research shows that there are drawbacks. Some surveys show that young remote workers, we're talking about Gen Z folks, okay? Some remote workers that are in Gen Z may feel unmoored. What a fancy word, right? It's like a ship that it's not having an anchor. It's just kind of bouncing around out there wherever the tide takes it. Unmoored and anxious. But I think that word, the Wall Street Journal used that phrase, and I think that that's really good. Now, it's a word we don't hear much, but anchorless, right? There's no anchor. They don't feel a part of a community. That's what's going on behind that word unmoored. What they're saying is not only they feel anxious, and I would tell you, the reason I think they feel anxious is they don't feel a sense of, belonging. See, we humans want to belong. We want to feel we're part of a club, a group, right? An affinity. You know? We just want to belong. You ever been to a Jimmy Buffett concert? Boy, those people, parrot heads they call themselves, those people want to belong to that group. Grateful Dead, I'm thinking in the music, you know, like those people all look the same. They want to belong, right? We all want to be a part of something. And Gen Z is discovering that when I'm at home alone working, and even though I know I'm a part of something much bigger than me, I'm not experiencing that, seeing that. That's what unmoored is really talking about. All right, let's keep going. 69% of Gen Z persons surveyed said that they would like to work remotely at least half the time. However, half of respondents also reported an increase in anxiety and depression attributed to remote work. Researchers further believe that young workers may harm their personal and professional lives by missing out on traditional experiences related to in-person duties, such as learning from older colleagues, chatting with bosses, and settling into the office workday, or even just being face-to-face with others. This is from the Wall Street Journal. I mean, this is, folks, I don't even know why this is a news story. It's not like this is so common sense, but this is the world we live in right now. This young group, listen to what Dr. Nishizaki said from California State University, Los Angeles. Boy, what a mouthful. This is the cohort, talking about Gen Z, with the least amount of person-to-person interaction while growing up. Think about it. And I'm guilty too. Okay? Smartphones. Nathan, you're our representative of the young dad with the young kids. Look, I'm not calling you out, but the fact of the matter is, if you take your wife to the restaurant and the kiddos, it's a lot easier to shove an iPad and an iPhone in their face. It just is. Am I right?
Oh, yeah, but we don't.
You don't. I know. You're very intentional, and that's good. Let me tell you why, Nathan. Because if you do what everybody else does, your kids are going to grow up with a real lack of interpersonal skills. That's what they're saying here. The researchers are going, they grow up and they don't have to have much human communication outside of mom or dad, and even that's limited. My dad used to say this a million times when I was growing up. Eyeballs on me. If I wasn't looking at him, he wouldn't finish the sentence. By the way, I still do that with my 16-year-old. Drives him nuts. I say, hey, look at me when I'm talking. I do. Hey, look at me. You know, I'm telling you, right? It matters. Here's the other side. I'm having some fun, but watch this. That's what they actually want. They've never done it, but if they want to work with coworkers, you know what that means? They want to look them in the eye. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to be talked to. They want to be loved. Interesting, huh? Very interesting. Young workers are voicing concerns now on forming relationships with work colleagues and the ability to build a professional network. Guess what? It's really hard to build a professional network when you're sitting home in your pajama pants. There you go. All right, up next, Fortune just released its annual list of 100 best companies to work for. The 100 best companies to work for prioritized answers relating to employee well-being and places that foster cultures of inclusion, purpose, listening, caring, and empathy. Anybody else paying attention to that list? Huh? You paying attention? It's almost all relationship stuff, leaders. The data was collected by Great Place to Work, which evaluated over 870,000 confidential employee survey responses. Now, let me tell you something, folks. They say that data, you get over 1,000 responses is a legitimate sample size. 870,000, and this is the key, confidential employee responses. This is legit. Here they are, top 10. Cisco, Hilton, Wegmans Food Markets, Salesforce, NVIDIA, I'm sure there's a way to say that. NVIDIA, I know, Alex, you smarty pants. NVIDIA was a joke I was leaning towards. Ever helpful, Alex. NVIDIA Corporation, Accenture, Rocket Companies, American Express, David Weekley Homes, Capital One. 9 out of 10 would strongly endorse their company to friends and family. 9 out of 10 feel cared for. 4 out of 5 feel psychologically and emotionally healthy. 4 out of 5 look forward to coming to work. 4 out of 5 find meaning in their jobs. Wake up, leaders. Are you wondering if you should leave your current job or stay put? Well, you're not alone. That's why we created the Should I Quit My Job quiz. In just 5 minutes or less, this quiz will help you determine if you're at the right company and if you're in the right role. And if you need to make a move, you'll get practical steps to keep you moving forward. Folks, it's time to get unstuck. Life is too short not to do what you were created to do. Go take the quiz right now at kencoleman.com/quiz. All right, it's time to get coached up. 844-747-2577. You want to get coached up on the program. We'll change your name and location and even industry or company, anything you need to protect the sensitivity of some of these calls. I do want to remind you of that. Let's go. Thomas is going to start us off in Indianapolis, Indiana. Thomas, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
I'm living the dream, Thomas. What are you doing?
Oh, trying to do the same.
Attaboy. What's going on?
So my question is, I started a side business, pressure washing, about a year and a half ago, and it's going very well.
Good. Let me interrupt you.
Busy.
Let me interrupt you for a second because I'm getting key details. So what does doing well mean? Give me some revenue numbers.
Doing well is I do it part-time strictly.
Okay.
Last year I made $17,000.
$17,000. How many hours a week roughly?
We'll say 6 to 10.
Okay, great. All right, keep going. That's good. That's good information for me to have. Keep going.
And it was only during the warmer months.
Of course.
This year is much busier. I've already matched my numbers from last year.
What?
And yep.
That's awesome.
And I want to know how to transition to this to full time.
All right. So how much do you project that you're going to make this year? If we made 17 last year, what are you projecting? Give me a moderate projection.
Probably around 45 to 50, just doing it part time.
My man. And
I think I can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Easily.
Yeah. But that's a projection based on what you've made so far.
Right.
Okay. And how many months out of the year is that?
It's about 9.
9 months.
My goal last year was to end on November 1st, and it didn't end until 2 days before Christmas.
Nice.
And the phone just kept ringing.
Yeah, man. And then how many hours a week are you still doing that? 6 to 10? Obviously not. It's a lot more hours.
Yeah, it's a little bit more hours. I'm doing it probably 12 to 15 now.
Wow. Are you just charging more?
Not really. I did up it a little bit at the first of the year.
So it's just an increase in work.
Yeah, and I don't advertise. I don't do any of that.
Okay, good. And what do you make in your day job?
About 80.
Okay, so 80,000 is the number. That's kind of a target.
But here's the kicker with the day job: is it has the insurance, it has all the benefits with it.
Yeah, that's overrated.
I travel for work, and I'm only on the road 3, maybe 4 days a week. I'm out. I can't do the pressure washing.
Yeah. Well, but we're already on our way. How much money are you saving from this side hustle? You saving every nickel? How much? Because I'm guessing your expenses are relatively small with gas and.
Yep. Well, we're working the baby steps, so we're on baby step 2. So most of that profit is going straight towards debt.
Okay. Now that was my next question. So do you have any debt? So how much debt do you have?
We've paid off 40 so far, and we got 33 left.
Okay. What's your anticipated payoff date?
May or this time next year, actually.
Fantastic. Okay. So let's fast forward. So we're going to keep doing what we can do because you're limited in how many hours you can work right now on the pressure washing. But we've increased our income nicely. And in 1 year or less, you're going to be debt-free. And then you move to baby step 3 for non-Ramsey people that are new coming in all the time. Baby step 1 is $1,000 in savings, just a basic itty-bitty emergency fund. Baby step 2 is to pay off all debt, smallest to largest. And Thomas and his family are doing that right now. A year from now, they're done. Then they move to baby step 3, and baby step 3 is 3 to 6 months expenses. It's a guide you pick. So it could be 3 months of all bills, everything, every dime you'd need to live the life you're living now, 3, 4, 5, or 6 months expenses. So that would be the next thing. So once we get that fully funded, then you're into baby step 4, which is saving 15% to retirement. And so the baby steps. So none of that changes any of this as it relates to when we walk. Other than you got to pay off the debt first. So once we're past baby step 2, maybe you wait until you get to 3 to 6 months. That's fine. But really, it depends which comes first. It's like if you could replace your income, if you knew that you could make 80,000, or more going full time on pressure washing, then that's when you do it. Or you're going to wait until you've got your emergency fund fully funded, and then you start saving every dime out of Pressure Washing Inc. company. Okay, we're going to call it that just for examples. Okay. So we get the emergency fund fully funded. Then now you're living off of your income and you're saving every nickel from pressure washing. And if you can put 3 to 6 months of your salary into the pressure washing bank account, now we're ready. Okay. If last qualifier, you feel like once I go do this, it's not going to be a function of business. I could easily do 40 hours, not work like a wild man, not work overtime, and easily make the 80. That's what we're looking at. So the transition is after debt payoff, after emergency fund, or after debt payoff. If you feel like the company can pay you what you need, as soon as the emergency fund is done, then go for it. If not, pay off debt, fill the emergency fund, then we save every nickel, and then we make the move.
Sounds great.
You know what I mean? But it's one of those deals. If somebody comes to you while you're putting your emergency fund together and they go, look, we need you on this. We got 15 apartment complexes in the greater Indianapolis. You know what I mean? And you're like, well, this is a no-brainer. And I got a contract, right. Then I go. Because then we're just going to trade one job for the other, and now it's working for yourself. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, man. You're on your way. Really proud of you. Great question. Love that. You know, we get that question a lot. When do I know? When there's no interruption of income and you're not taking on any kind of risk, you know, other than just getting out there and hustling and getting after it. It's fascinating. Can I tell you something? I recently discovered that I enjoy pressure washing. I got to tell you, it's one of the most satisfying things I've ever done. You know, first of all, you got a couple things going. Number one, you got the sheer force of the water coming out of that thing. It's like it's kind of a guy thing. It's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's like a high-powered water gun that you wish you had when you were a teenager and you'd shoot your friend right in the ear with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we think super soakers are cool until you get a pressure washer in your hand. You're like, now this is a super soaker. It's like that line from Crocodile Dundee. For all of you that are like Gen Z millennials, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But Paul Hogan is playing this Australian legendary guy in New York, and a guy comes up to him on the street and pulls a little teeny tiny knife on him. You know, he's like, give me your wallet. And Crocodile Dundee goes, that's not a knife. This is a knife. And he pulls out this backwoods Australian blade. It's a Bowie knife that, you know, literally could gut a dinosaur. It's so big. And the guy turns around and runs away. You know, so like the pressure washer is like, oh, I'll show you, you super soaker. You know what I mean? And it does great work. But then there's beyond the power aspect. It's the redemption. The redemption of the super soaker is unbelievable. It's like there's algae or mold or I don't know, whatever, just, you know, stain. And man, you just start power washing. You just go one streak at a time, one stroke at a time. It's unbelievable. And Alex is going, what is he doing? Where is he going with this? Because some of you think I'm just getting very excited about a pressure washer, but there's a point. Do you know why I love pressure washing? The same reason you love the work that you do. You ready? It's about the contribution. I always talk about mission. You know what's beautiful about pressure washing? Is that it's transformation. It's not cleaning. It's transformation. Something before wasn't pretty. Something before was gross and ugly. And now it's beautiful. It's back. There's redemption in work that is good. Always. That's why we love pressure washing. Not because of the sound and the water. It's because of the redemption. Let's figure out what redemptive work is for you. Come on back.
According to Glassdoor, the average job offer attracts over 250 applicants. So if you've made it to the interview, you've already made a great impression. So now is your time to showcase how you are the best choice for this role. That's why we created How to Win the Interview. This free guide will walk you through the 5 strategies to help you stand out amongst the competition. With just a little intentionality, you can prepare yourself to win the interview. To get it, go to kencoleman.com/interview.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you win at work and at life. I want to help you make more money and experience more meaning. I want to increase your income, increase your impact, help you do that, rather. And that is a worthy pursuit. That's what we all long for. Isn't that true? Let's go to Deborah, who joins us in Vienna, West Virginia. Deborah, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm living the dream, Deborah. What are you doing?
Well, I'm hoping to live the dream.
All right.
I want to thank you for taking my call. I just need some advice. I'm thinking about quitting my job.
Okay.
And I have a lot of hesitation.
Okay.
Because I'm old.
Oh, wait a second. I'm not going to listen to that. You are not old.
Well, okay, I feel it some days, but anyway,
How old are you? Only reason I asked is because I'm the host of the show, and normally dudes aren't allowed to ask that. But since you said it, how young are you?
I'm 57.
Oh,
but
Deborah, stop it.
So my thing is, I have a good job with benefits.
Okay.
And I have to tell you a backstory a little bit because I went through a divorce of 29 years.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And kind of lost everything.
Yeah.
But it's all good because God was there. And so my friend said, give me your resume. I'll put it in the right hands. Well, at the time, I didn't know where he worked. I thought he worked at a different agency. And it happened to be 3 hours from me. It's an hour and a half each way. So I am commuting 3 hours a day. And it's wearing me out.
Goodness gracious.
And,
Deborah, I'm exhausted just hearing you talk about it. You can't keep that up.
No, I can't. And so my dilemma is that I've been there 4 years. My new husband, he works in, here in, our city. And, I said, well, maybe I should move up there. And he's willing to do whatever I want to do. But I said, I'm thankful. Gosh, I'm thankful because God opened a door when I needed it.
Yeah.
But I said, this is not even my personality. I am a people person. I am called.
Yeah.
Deborah,
I'm
Deborah, ordained life.
Deborah, I don't need any more context. What I need to know is what are you concerned about? First of all, you're not going to move away from your new husband to do a job that you don't want to do. You don't even need that job anymore. So how much money do you need to make? Or do you need to make any money?
Yes, I do, because I'm in debt.
Okay, how much do you need to make?
I make $52,000 right now. We're on baby step 2.
Great.
I just heard about Dave Ramsey and all this stuff.
Good.
And I even just ordered your book.
Oh, thank you.
And then I did your assessment.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And so my number one talent is compassion.
Okay.
And I kind of knew that because I am a people person and I want to encourage. I want to motivate people.
Sure you do.
And I love businesses. So I've had 3 businesses in the past with my ex-husband, and I want to do something like that, but I'm scared.
Okay. Hold on, Deborah. Let me try to center you, okay? Because we only got about a couple of minutes. You called because you said, I want to quit my job, but I'm hesitant. And you're hesitant for a couple of reasons based on everything I've just heard. I think you're hesitant because you may not know what to go to, or as you look at what you really want to do, which is run your own business, you're not sure what that idea is yet. Have I pretty much nailed it? Is that why you're hesitant? Okay. Not sure what's going on. Let me try to pull her back here. Deborah, am I pretty much on it?
Yes, but I'm afraid that I would make a bad decision because of the money.
Okay, but here's the deal. So we're not going to do
benefit.
that. So until you have your business idea, I think there's a stage between stepping into your dream company idea. I think you just need to replace your $52,000 income in another day job. Does not have to be a dream job. Okay? Let's just go get a good job that doesn't require you to drive 3 hours a day. Enjoy your new marriage and that relationship, and let's keep paying off the debt. Let's keep walking the baby steps. We pay the debt off. We get the emergency fund up. Changes our entire budget, our entire financial outlook. And so then we take the pressure off of the idea because we're not going to start a business to live off of. Right now, you just need a better job. I want you to focus on that. Use the Get Clear assessment as kind of a sweet spot, high-level job description, okay? Look for that. Get that job. Then we come up with the idea over time and start that business once we're financially set.
Do you know what you were born to do? In order to get hired at a job you love, you need to get clear on your talent, passion, and mission. That's why our team created the Career Clarity Guide. In just a few minutes, this free tool will walk you through a process to discover what you do best, talent, the work you love to do, passion, and the results you want your work to produce. That's mission. Then you're going to feel way more confident throughout the job search process. To get started, go now to kencoleman.com/clarity.
Welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you win at work and in life so that you can make plenty of money but also experience tremendous meaning in your work, making that unique contribution that we all long to make. 844-747-2577 is the phone number, 844-747-2577. Let's go to Dallas, Texas, where Mustafa joins us on the line. Mustafa, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hello, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. How can I help, sir?
I wanted to ask your opinion on where I am in life and what direction I should go in.
Okay. Go ahead. What's your question?
Well, that's it. I wanted your opinion on where I am in life. Am I ahead? Am I...
No, I understand, but you got to tell me. So tell me where you are and where you think you should be, and I can dive in on that. So give me some more detail.
Let me see. I work in a machine shop. Been working there for about 2 years, and I'm making about $18 an hour.
Okay.
What I want to do is in the future, I want to make more money, but from the information I gathered, the machine shop industry does not it will not allow me to make more than $50,000 a year, no matter how much experience I have.
Okay. All right. Good. That's a good start. Right?
Yes.
So okay, I've essentially I'm in a role right now where I am limited. So if I want to rise above that, I say, all right, do I know where I ultimately want to be, a profession, a path? If I don't, I've got to figure that out. If I do know what it is, then we go to the question of how does the experience and skills that you've acquired in the machine shop help you get there? Does that make sense? So where do you want to go? Do you know where you want to go? Or are you looking for ideas? Do you have some ideas and you're saying, I need to run these by Ken to see if I can pull these ideas off? Where do you stand today?
I want to be a manufacturing engineer in the future, but I don't know how I can make that possible.
Why? Meaning you don't know the path, or you think there's too many hurdles?
I don't know the path. I don't know the path. Like I look at courses, schools, and I don't find anything about manufacturing engineer.
Okay, so do you know anybody that is a manufacturing engineer?
No, I don't.
Then where'd you come up with the idea or the title of manufacturing engineer? Where'd you hear about it?
Through the research I make online.
Okay, so it is an actual career track. It is a job. It is a profession.
Yes.
Okay. And what does it involve? Have you read about that?
It involves creating the process of manufacturing a product.
Okay, great. And when you read these jobs online, you read about them to be able to answer that question. What does it say that the general requirements are? What kind of skill set, what kind of education, what kind of experience does one need?
A lot of manufacturing experience, like running the machine, a lot of mechanical experience, a lot of knowledge about the different processes, materials, and whatnot.
Great. So that sounds like all hands-on experience stuff, correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you need an engineering degree? Is it required? I'm not asking you your opinion. I'm saying in the research and what you've looked at, have you been able to determine if that position requires a degree?
It does.
Okay. Do you have an engineering degree?
No, I don't.
All right. So now we're getting somewhere, right?
Okay.
Because Mustafa, there's no question in my mind that your machine shop experience and connections you've made or could make would allow you to go get some of that other experience, correct?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, you can get there. But in order to get that engineering job, we got to have the engineering degree. So now we say, okay, if I'm going to stay in the Dallas, Texas area, what is the cheapest place to go get an engineering degree, right? State colleges, are going to be cheaper than private colleges is my point. Is there an engineering school? I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know if there's a trade school for that type of engineering. There may not be. Okay, but if I need a basic engineering degree, okay, then where in the state of Texas, or I can go online too. I don't have to just do it in Dallas metropolitan area. I can do it online. So I say, okay, what is the absolute, because here's what I'm trying to say, Mustafa, and this freaks some people out, but this is the truth. Nobody gives a crap where you got your degree. Am I right? Nobody.
No.
Nobody cares. So if I can get a degree from a state college for $20,000 versus a private school for $50,000, I'm making these numbers completely up to make a point, then I'm going to go get the state college degree for half. Understand?
I see.
So now we got to go, okay, where would I get the engineering degree? How much is that going to cost me? And based on my financial realities, how long is that going to take me? Because I don't want to go into debt for it. I'm going to cash flow it. Because the good news is, as a machinist right now, you are getting valuable experience, and it's possible that you could move up in another company where you can grow as a machinist. So you're looking to grow and advance as a machinist or any work related to machine work in the interim, meaning in the meantime, while we are getting the degree part-time, because you can't go full-time for engineering because you got to have a job, right?
Yes.
All right, so this is all doable. Do you see the path?
Yes, I do.
My man, you can do this. So your next step is research. What's the most cost-effective engineering degree? Any other questions on that?
That's where I get more confused is the more I do research, the more differences I see, but the more I look into it, the more these differences don't mean a lot.
Right.
That's very confusing to me.
Well, it shouldn't be confusing, actually. That should be clarifying. What you just said was a really clarifying statement. The more I do the research, the less there's difference in all these things. So if I get a mechanical engineering degree versus another engineering degree, but, I'd probably go mechanical engineering would be my guess. But there's one other thing that I would tell you to do. You need to be very intentional to meet somebody or two or three who do mechanical engineering. And you get whether it's a friend of a friend of a friend, or you go online in some forum and you meet somebody who's a very successful mechanical engineering, or actually not mechanical. What was the job you described it? What was it called?
Manufacturing engineer.
Manufacturing engineer. Yeah, sorry. That's who you need to get with. That's who you need to spend time with. You know why? Because they're going to give you some very real life advice and insight onto what your best path is, because they're doing what you want to do. And so they may tell you some things that you'd never learn online. That is very important. And so then they can tell you, well, mechanical engineering is probably the best degree, or just a general engineering or whatever. I don't even know. I mean, you know what I mean? I have no idea. But here's
Yes,
what
yes,
I know,
understand.
Mustafa, all of the answers that you need to give you further clarity are in those areas that I just told you. So go do your homework. And folks, I mean, this is a valuable lesson for all of you. It doesn't matter what field you're in. It is really overwhelming. When we look at a mountaintop, and let's just take Mustafa's his story here. When we look at warehouse engineering, did I say that right? Was it warehouse? No, manufacturing. Gosh, I don't know what's wrong with my brain. I'm too busy trying to teach. I can't think. But manufacturing and engineering. So he knows what he wants to do. He knows what that professional pinnacle looks like. But I got to tell you, it's intimidating to just stare at that mountain and keep staring at that mountain. That's not good for anybody. So the advice I gave him is the advice I give you. Let's go talk to people who've climbed that mountain. Let's go talk to people who've been on top of that mountain, who are on top of that mountain. Let's go figure out the best way possible. There's probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11 ways to the top of the mountain. And in finding all of the different ways up the mountain, here's what happens. We figure out the best way for us. Remember, my path up the mountain and what's best for me may not be the same path and best for you. But when we figure that out, we go, okay, this is doable. I know how to get there. So if I got to wait 3 years, I know I can do it because I know that in the waiting, I'm saving money. I'm getting other experience. I'm doing what I need to do to be where I want to be. You matter. You have what it takes. Press on.
Thanks for listening to The Ken Coleman Show. For more, you can find the show on demand wherever you listen to podcasts and watch the show on YouTube. You can also find Ken across all social media by following @Ken Coleman.